Haynes, my favorite economics professor. How you doing? Thank you, thank you. Aloha to you. Mele kalikimaka.
Great. Well, Santa, can you stay and let me ask you a few questions?
Sure, you bet.
Well, Santa, I'm so happy you'd spend a few minutes talking to me. You know, I teach economics here at BYU Hawaii.
That's right. I'm glad I decided to pop in here just around the neighborhood here. Just getting ready to head back to North Pole here in about a week or so.
That's great. Well, I've got some questions for you. We've been talking about employment and unemployment in my macroeconomics class, and I know that you're a big employer up at the North Pole, aren't you?
That's right. I employ over 1,000 elves at any given time.
I bet you're the biggest employer at the North Pole.
Actually, I'm the only employer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you employ the same number of elves all year round?
Actually, no. This year, with the economy and everything, it's been down a little bit, but it seems like things are coming up. So, I think I'm projecting about 10,000 elves this year.
10,000.
Yeah. Plus, there's been a lot of good kids, especially here. I think in Hawaii, there've been a lot of good kids.
Yeah. My students are pretty good.
That's what I hear.
They try really hard, so you be good to them as long as they keep studying until the final.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so you said referred to two things there. You said that there are good years and bad years. Some years where you employ more elves than other years. And in economics, we would call that cyclical unemployment because when the business cycle slows the economy down, you're not able to employ as many. And so even Santa's affected by cyclical unemployment at his workshop.
That's right. That's right. And usually what we try to do is we usually try to find other things for them to do, or while we're doing this, we just try to make sure that we don't run out of work before the end of the season. So we try to time things out that way and try to also be creative in the other things that we manufacture.
Okay. So do you have fewer employees in the summer than in the winter?
That's correct. Usually in the summertime, first of the year, then I'll let everybody go. Usually they have second jobs usually during the summertime. A lot of them like to come here to Hawaii for a few months. And then, so it's really rough sometimes. Somewhere else having a rough time this year. But overall, that's just the way that the seasonal employee works, So they understand that, but they're happy to come and work with me.
Okay, so some of them come to Hawaii. Do they surf the waves up on the North Shore?
Oh yeah, but you never see them because they're so tiny. But usually they're there.
They're there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, then if you've got different number of employees at different times of the year, you contribute to a phenomenon we call seasonal unemployment because there are some elves without jobs during some times of the year, and it's consistent every year. Do you do anything to help them find other jobs?
Usually we try to, because we do have other holidays during the year. But we do some job training as well as mentoring as well. Some of our elves, they actually decided to stop mentoring this year because they heard some horror stories from some of my friends. You might know them, Jack and Tom.
Tell me about them, Jack and Tom. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, you might know Jack, Mr. Lantern, Jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he kind of has a rough year because by the time the season, his holiday ends, he's all burned out. And usually turns into mud, to a pie or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is a tough job. I guess that folks would rather be elves than jack-o'-lanterns, huh?
Definitely. And then, of course, my other friend, Tom, Mr. Turkey, he's coming up here next week, and I probably won't see him around, coming up here in about a week or so. But Tom Turkey, he has a very short seasonal employment time as well. So.
Yeah, and people don't really survive his season, do they?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I can see why the folks would prefer to be elves, and so you probably have lots and lots of applicants when you have job openings.
Definitely.
Are they skilled? Do they have the right skills?
Most of them are skilled that we see, especially lately that we've seen a lot more skilled elves. And it is a very tough job market out there, especially the way things are with our tight season. So it's important that our elves are very well prepared and very well educated when they come.
Do you ever have to turn down a job applicant because they don't have the skills you're looking for?
We do, because some may be skilled in something that is totally, opposite from what we do. So we only need and look for those who have the right training for what we do up north.
I'm guessing you're starting to do more and more high-tech toys.
That's correct. Back in the 50s, we used to do a lot of wooden toys, things like that. But lately now, everybody wants something with electronics and little gizmos.
Okay, and so sometimes folks just stay unemployed because they don't have the skills you need, the high-tech skills you need now.
Yeah, that is correct, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you also have some high-tech transportation engineers.
That's correct. We have our whole transportation department. Of course, that's how we get around every year. But it's funny, there's some elves that have been very entrepreneurial, lately. I know one of my elves, he was kind of a misfit when he was working with us, but he's actually in Hollywood now. He just released a new movie a couple weeks ago, so I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, he was a character when he was up there.
Okay, well, I'll have to go see him and do that. Well, I've got one more thing to ask you about,
You bet.
Santa. The way you've described the skill situation, there are some folks without jobs because they don't have the right skills. In economics, we refer to that as structural unemployment. Are there elves who don't want to live in the cold at the North Pole?
Yeah, there definitely are some elves, and I'm just, for myself, I've been doing this so long, and my sons actually, and you guys probably don't know this is a secret, but they're in training right now. So actually, that's part of the reason why I'm here, because I'm picking up some other new skills as well. Because you never know, I could just climb down a chimney someday, and there goes my leg, So I picked up a little ukulele here, have some lessons here I've been doing here in Hawaii. Usually this is where I come my off season, so I've been trying to pick up new skills. So just in case the job market turns on me, or I might be unemployed someday too. So
yeah, well, you let me know when you do your first concert. I'd like to come.
That might be a few years.
Okay. Well, I've got one more question for you. You manufacture a lot of the toys you give away. Do you also buy from companies that have patents or trademarks on their toys?
You bet we do, because obviously there's millions of toys that we give out and presents we give out each year, and it's just a little over burdensome for us to do everything. So a lot of times we will buy copyrights, or we can have licensing to manufacture certain products, but a lot of times we honor those copyrights, and we try not to infringe on anyone else's ideas or copyrights.
That's great, Santa, because it would be really sad if you got stopped at customs as you entered a country on Christmas Eve and you couldn't finish your route because you had counterfeit goods in your sleigh.
Yeah, I would feel bad because I probably might have your present in there, Beth. So.
Ooh! Well, I'm really glad to hear you honor those patents and copyrights now. Well, Santa, thank you so much for taking time to meet with me today.
Well, you're very welcome, and I'd like to come back anytime, if maybe next year, around the same time.
Okay, maybe we can talk about microeconomics then. Great. Well, do you have any last words of wisdom you'd like to offer my students?
Well, just gotta let them know, remember to be good. Santa's watching you and making his list as well as his hang there. Also making his list and checking it twice. And just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody, and actually Mele Kalikimaka.